Hi, I'm James Eade of the Eade Foundation. You can call me Jim. The Eade Foundation is dedicated to building communities through chess. And if you're part of a community, you're never alone. Now, it doesn't matter what language you speak, it doesn't matter what country you're from. If you want to play chess, we can help you get connected to the chess community. And once you're connected to the chess community, you'll find that you're never alone. There are always places to play, people to play with in the chess community. And one of the people that has been responsible for helping people to learn how to play chess and to get connected to the chess community is behind Premier Chess. And today's question, and the East Foundation sponsors the Chess Files. The answers are out there. And today's question is, what is Premier about Premier Chess? So I'm going to add my guest. Hello, Evan.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me today, Jim.
It is my pleasure. And I noticed, even though I'm kind of an old dog, I've been poking around the internet a little bit. And
You're a young guy.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yes, it's all in the mind, right? And so I just saw this Premier Chess and I was really curious. Can you explain to me, how did it start? How did you, and you were behind it, right?
Absolutely. So, I am a national chess master. I was born and raised in New York, and I started playing when I was 7. I taught on and off since I was 12 and became master when I was 20. And I actually was in enterprise sales for a couple of years. I spent 3 years doing sales at Oracle and 1 year doing sales at Rapid7. And basically, I decided that I wanted to sell my true passion, which was chess. So now we teach business and life values through the game to students in over 80 schools, a bunch of companies, including the law firm Kramer Levin, and a bunch of different organizations, and of course individuals as well. And we love, like I said, teaching business and life lessons through the game.
Yes, because I've always said that if you give the gift of chess to a child, you give a gift that lasts a lifetime. It's an educational tool when they're young because the confidence and the lessons that you learn in chess are directly transferable back into the classroom. And then as an adult, it's a pleasant pastime. And in old age, which I am rapidly approaching, is a solace. Because when you're playing chess, you're not worried about your doctor's bills or your next hospital appointment or anything like that. You're transported into a universe all by itself. And it has its own language. So it doesn't matter what language you speak. It doesn't matter what country you're from.
Absolutely. I've played tournaments now in 11 countries all around the world. And, it's a great way to build community.
So we've got your website URL scrolling across the bottom of the screen. But if I go there, what will I find?
So you'll see a lot of things there. Of course, you'll see our team, 48 great instructors, ranging from Grandmaster Mark Baragua, who actually teaches our adult advanced class, Brian Wilmeth, who actually runs most of our virtual programs now, our director of school programs, Phil Rosenberg, many other great, people as well. Phil also runs a radio show and his own YouTube channel as well. So we, a lot on there. We do have a very active blog with 2 to 3 articles on average a week. I'm actually just about to publish one in a few minutes about mindset and chess, which is actually a guest blog post from Francine Stedman. So, we really, have our podcast link, of course, on there as well. We try to, give value, not just people that are, going to go run our events. Of course, those are on there as well. Right now, we have a virtual group class series for all ages and skill levels. We actually have several classes for kids, several for adults, and one for seniors, actually, exclusively 65 and up. So I know you're not even close to there yet.
Can't qualify yet, but the U.S. Senior Open is open to everybody over 50, so I qualify for that.
And I know you were talking about that on a recent episode that you did with Harold and Joel Benjamin. So
yes, Joel is now the only U.S. junior champion, U.S. champion, and U.S. senior champion. So yeah, that
Definitely quite a feat, and I know he just released a book the other day, his latest book.
good for you promoting others, and that's what we're supposed to do here in chess, right?
We definitely have to. I'm a very big fan of the idea that there's a lot of chess to go around. Um, I definitely don't really consider any other chess company as a real competitor.
Ally.
We have a lot of very strong partners. And by the way, if you go to premierchess.com/partners, probably my favorite page on the website truly is our partners list. So we have actually a whole chess section, a whole legal section, a real estate section. We have brokers where we recommend all over, including Emma Phillips, for instance, who is our real estate broker of choice in London.
Excellent.
So it's a very big collaborative effort for sure.
I could just tip my hat to you because that's wonderful. I'm really proud of what you're doing. And
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I how do you pronounce Premier? Is it Premier or Premier?
Premier.
Premier. That's what I thought. Yeah. You go to the premiere of a show.
The U.S. way, not the British way.
You just mentioned London, and it kind of got me confused there. But, yeah. So, how do you say your last name? Is it Rabin or Rabin?
It is Rabin. Although I spend a fair amount of time in Israel, so I'm kind of used to Rabin as well. But of course, after Yitzhak Rabin, but it is Evan Rabin.
Okay. And how do you pronounce my last name?
I believe Eid. Is that correct?
Yes. I've heard all connotations, all different forms. But
I said it correctly, so I'm happy.
Yes, you did. Bingo. So with Premier Chess, you have all of these other connections. So, and you started out as a success in the business world, and now you're following your passion.
Right, absolutely.
Yes. So not everyone is going to be passionate about chess, but you're teaching them skills that whatever they become passionate about, they can use those skills in following whatever direction their life takes them.
Absolutely. It's all about transferable skills. And it doesn't even matter if it's, a preschool kid, a high school kid, a lawyer at Kramer Levin, or one of the seniors that we teach. It's all about judgment training, critical thinking skills, healthy competition, controlling your mindset, being resilient, abiding by the idea of ufaratsta, which my Rabbi Peretz Kane taught me, which is to spread out, get outside of your comfort zone. Consistently very important.
I think, sometimes when you're feeling uncomfortable, it's a sign of growth.
Exactly.
You're expanding yourself. And so that's not always comfortable, but you've got to put yourself out there and grow. Even
Absolutely. Look, I take every opportunity like this to, get ourselves out there. Yeah. And by the way, Jim, I'm going to publicly say here, I want to get you on my podcast very soon. After this, we're going to set that up. So.
Okay. That is a commitment on my part for you, because you've been kind enough to come onto my show as a guest to spread the word about chess and all of these benefits that you're talking about. I can remember an elder statesman in the chess community that I started in teaching me when I was a kid. I was so impulsive when I played, and he told me to mentally sit on my hands. Pop into my head, I couldn't play because I was sitting on my hands. So I had.
Who's that, Jim?
That was an older man back in Massachusetts, where I grew up.
And I lived in Somerville actually for 4 years.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
I went to Brandeis.
One summer between semesters, and I was born in New Haven, Connecticut. But
wow.
My father was trying to get tenure, and he got tenure in a small mill town called North Adams, Massachusetts, and that's where I learned to play chess. Because I was there in 1972. Can you guess why I got started in chess?
Bobby Fischer and Spassky.
The Fischer-Spassky match, it was on television. Can you imagine chess on television? I can't imagine chess on television today. Can you?
Well, I mean, there's Queen's Gambit, of course, which is very big.
On Netflix.
I actually had the other day Bruce Pandolfini on my podcast, who is, of course, the advisor to the film.
Yes.
And he was actually saying, tremendous stuff about. I actually didn't even know that he was also the advisor on the book back in 1983, and it's absolutely amazing. I haven't got nearly as many inquiries about any other show or really anything, and just is really at the forefront now.
Yeah, it's people that I haven't heard from long while asking me, "Did you see it? And what did you think?" And tell Bruce when you talk to him next that he got the chess parts very, very good, very well done. Then that's not often the case in filmdom. That
No, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of films where even the board is set up wrong, or there's like people are moving twice in a row, or just crazy things like that. And it's absolutely great to see that everything was accurate. It was definitely somewhat reminiscent of Fisher. I don't know if this is like completely true or not, but our mutual friend, actually, Shelby Lorman, was telling me how he thinks um, Walter Brown was portrayed in the movie. Again, I'm not 100% sure. And by the way, I didn't even realize this until afterwards that Bruce himself was had a cameo in the film.
I missed it. I just saw the last episode, and
yeah, well, I missed it too. Until I saw it afterwards, and I was like a little embarrassed about this, but it was during the simul. There was a short cameo of Bruce.
Okay, that's very cool, and so it gives me another reason to watch it again. And
absolutely,
it's a little Alfred Hitchcockian moment there. That you get a little cameo of the guy that's always behind the camera. Gets little taste of being on camera.
and he deserves that, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah, and he was even a part of the Searching for Bobby Fischer, which is what was before this series, the best portrayal of chess, I thought.
And by the way, I just actually secured a date. So next month we're gonna have Fred Waitskin on my podcast, talking about Searching for Bobby Fischer and everything else, including a new book that he just released.
Yes, he's quite the author. I really have admired him. I got to meet him in 1995. Josh was playing in the Pan Pacific tournament in San Francisco. It's the kind of 13 event. So Victor Korchnoi was the eventual winner. But, Fred was there with Josh, but Josh was playing. So Fred had a lot of spare time, as I did, because I was the advisor, but I wasn't playing. So we got to know each other a little bit then. And I think that's going to be a great guest. I'm very jealous.
Well, maybe I'll get on yours as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the connection that we establish in the chess world, because we are connected. And it doesn't matter what country we are, what language we speak, we have this connection that we call chess. And it keeps us connected, and we help each other. And that's the main thing. So we help each other. And not everybody is going to become a grandmaster. But
absolutely. But again, it's all a community. And the truth is that it's actually crazy. There's so many people, including yourself. Another person who comes to mind, John Hendricks, was on my podcast a few months ago. I've never met him in person, but I feel like we definitely know each other pretty well, just through, especially recently with Twitch, for instance. We have our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Premier Chess. And we've just, built a community, with a lot of people all over, many of which we've never met in person. And, it's one big community.
Yes. And it's the way, especially in the pandemic that's sweeping the world, this is a way to stay connected.
Absolutely.
Things like Twitch, Zoom, StreamYard, all these online capabilities. So you can teach people chess online. Am I correct in stating that?
Absolutely. So we're doing a lot of our virtual programs. We have over 90 people right now in our virtual group class series for the fall. We are actually starting another one January 4th for the winter. And then we actually also already announced our spring session, which will start in mid-March. And yeah, I mean, the great thing about it is now is the perfect time for adults to get back into it. One thing I was actually surprised about is this past session, we actually had more adult signups than kid signups. Partially because we really didn't have a lot of competition for adults. Most chess companies out there, primarily target kids. We do typically as well, just because at the end of the day, there's more of a market for it. But at the same time, look, there are adults that want to learn, but at the same time, there are also adults that don't want to pay, upwards of $100 an hour,
Right.
for a private lesson.
Right.
But they want to learn, right? So now we have actually. By the way, if there's one thing I learned in enterprise sales, we don't sell on value, and we're not the cheapest company around. That's for sure. But at the same time, this is a very cheap way to learn. These virtual group classes. Still like an 8-to-1 teacher ratio.
Right.
So lots of room to ask questions, etc. But it's substantially obviously cheaper, per lesson. So it's a great way to learn. And especially in our seniors class, we have 13 seniors this go around from all over the country. Many of them play chess here and there, throughout their lives. And we have one guy who's 89, basically hasn't played chess since he was, back in middle school.
Right.
And now he's just super, super into it. Very, very grateful that, they have the opportunity. And they've actually built their own community throughout the week. They asked if, they could play each other during, and, actually asked, look, as long as there's no, hesitations by anyone, yeah, I'm happy to, share the contact information for the class. And I did. And, they're playing throughout the week. So it's a way to stay connected and constantly improve.
You're doing such a great job. That is one of my most heartfelt things that we teach to the kids naturally, but the elderly community needs our support as well, because I have taught at senior centers, and they are so delighted to use their minds, and they are so inspired. And sometimes you go into a classroom and not everybody is eager to be there. They want to be on the playground or something else. But these people were really intent on learning and keeping their minds engaged. I think you might know my friend Beatrice Marinello.
Of course.
Checkmating dementia. And the research is showing that although it cannot stop a disease like dementia or Alzheimer's, it can delay the onset of symptoms. You keep your mind active. So, these couple of years of keeping your mind active, how can you put a value on that? It's priceless.
I mean, it's unvaluable. Actually, my good friend, Dr. Alex Vasterman, a dentist on the Upper East Side, once actually was explaining to me, the idea of there was actually this whole scientific journal, about how simple processes like brushing your teeth every day, but then also, critical thinking like chess, have just such an impact. And it's not going to stop Alzheimer's, of course, but could definitely very much lessen the impact, or as you said, delay the length of time that it'll take to have it happen.
Yes. So, we'd like to send chess sets and boards to senior centers around the country. That's one of the things that we is part of our mission. But, what the EAD Foundation is mainly concerned about is giving chess sets and boards to places that cannot afford to buy them. You know, for you and me, they are very inexpensive. It's a very inexpensive activity to give to kids, but some people can't even afford that much. So if we can bring that chess sets and boards to them, if we can provide them with some instructional material, then they can teach themselves. Because when growing up in the 1972, we were all autodidacts. We had to teach ourselves. There weren't these wonderful teachers that are all over now. They weren't present when I was starting to learn chess. And this is the other thing that I'm so proud of you for doing, because you're providing an opportunity for people who love chess to make a living teaching.
Right.
And that's one of the undersold brilliancies of the concept that you had in Premier Chess, is that these people, they may be passionate about chess, but they may not be able to make a living at it because they're not elite grandmaster strength. Only the elite grandmasters can really make a living playing chess.
Right.
Teaching chess, you can.
Absolutely. And I will say, I think it's worth noting that part of the reason that, a lot of teachers and players, are not teaching so much is, frankly, they lack the marketing and business skills.
That's correct.
I actually have, some other problems. I'm not necessarily the best when it comes to operations sometimes. But in terms of sales and marketing, that's my forte. When we started the company in July of 2017, in the first 2 months of the business, we were in 14 schools. And very, very quickly grew from there. I had 10 people working for us, and there was no on-site. Everything was just move forward. My good friend Michael Deutsch, likes to say yes and figure it out later. Let's go.
Yeah.
Within reason, I think that is, a very important lesson. And the same thing with chess. I know a lot of parents will be, a little nervous about sending their kid to a tournament, especially like the nationals or whatever. But the truth is, no, they need to just go, move forward, and that's how they're going to improve, of course.
And everybody loses when they play enough chess. You will eventually lose. And chess teaches you to pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and play the next game. And that's a life lesson, because you can start something like your enterprise and it may not take off right away, but it shouldn't discourage you. Keep trying, keep pushing, and you will eventually succeed. And if you don't succeed, something else unexpected might happen, and that would be your success story. So
absolutely,
who knows in the future? Who knows? So just do what you can in the present. And you're doing a great job. You're a role model for others. So people out there, viewers, hi mom, take him as an example, and because you could do it too. There is nothing incredibly special about Evan. He's a special person, but you might be too. You can do this in your community. You can start teaching chess, and you might be the next Premier Chess. What comes after Premier? Splendid Chess. I don't know. We'll work on the names. But you're an example, a role model for others. They can do this in their communities. And once you start, Evan's reach now is global. He does not have to stay in Manhattan to reach people to teach chess. His reach is global, throughout the country, throughout the world. So this is why I tip my hat to you, because you're making use of the technology that we have, that we did not have when I was and learning chess. So you're a good example for people like me, because I'm technology challenged. But I see you guys and you're inspiring me to do things like, hey, maybe I could start my own show and have people like Evan on as guests. And I did. So, old dogs can learn new tricks.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And, look, it's important to adapt. A lot of people, in the COVID times, pretty much stopped everything that they were doing. We did for a day, I very, very quickly had a couple meetings, figured out how we could run things virtually, and we got started. We converted a lot of our school programs to virtual, a lot of our corporate classes to virtual. I became very, very, very active with my podcast. At first, I was doing 1 or 2 a week, or even less than that. Now, it's been like 2 to 3. Just keeping very, very busy. I'm doing one this Sunday, for instance, with International Master Jay Bonin, which is going to be a lot of fun.
The Iron Man of
the Iron Man. And then actually next week I'm doing one with one of the other best chess teachers around, Elizabeth Spiegel. So and lots of other ones coming up as well. But really using this opportunity to stay connected, work forward. And by the way, I want to actually thank you. And unfortunately, this trip didn't end up happening this summer, but we're definitely going back to Moshi, Tanzania, July 11th to 18th, 2021. And Jim actually this past summer was going to partially sponsor one of our members, National Master Alan Cantor, who also was on my podcast, but maybe we'll sponsor him this year ahead. And we're very excited about it. And I basically, we partner with Make a Difference Now. I bring a team of high school and college students and adults to teach for 6 days. And then we do a safari for 3. So God willing, we'll be back there, in July 2021. And, you mentioned before that, seniors are very grateful, as compared to some of the kids that we teach that don't necessarily want to be there, but we teach by far the most when we're down there. The kids down there are just incredibly grateful for foreigners coming in to teach them, and we definitely teach more in the 6 days that we're down there than we do in a semester in any school in the U.S.
That is so heartwarming. The EAT Foundation has been helping programs in Uganda and Zambia. Was contacted by an intern at the UN. The Zambian youth program had only been teaching football, or what we call soccer, and they wanted to branch out. And they thought, could we do chess? And absolutely, we could do chess. But going, I have not personally gone to see the results of these programs. I've got pictures and videos, but my tip of the cap to you for going. We've
done it twice now, and please God, we'll be back for the 3rd time this summer.
Right. Yeah, and I would be happy to sponsor Alan. Alan and I met back in the 90s. When you were a twinkle in someone's eye.
And Alan was my coach growing up. So.
Oh, cool. Next time you
one of them.
Tell him I said hello.
Absolutely.
Okay.
He actually teaches our virtual novice class on Mondays. We're one of our 3 sections of it.
Right. So you got your hands full and you're juggling a lot of balls, but you're pulling it off. So
somehow.
So scrolling across the bottom of our screen here, Premier Chess. Check it out. And Evan, thank you so much for being on this program. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you so much. Happy belated Thanksgiving as well. Yes. And, I look forward to staying connected with you and having you on our podcast.
I'm all in. Okay,
awesome.
Evan, I'm going to say goodbye to you now. And then
thank you so much, Jim.
Bye to all the viewers. So
bye, everyone.
All right. So that was Evan with Premier Chess. He did a fantastic job. And I just want to say, go to Premier Chess, check it out, get involved. And if you don't think you can do it, you can start something like this in the community that you live in. So this is Jim Eade from the Eade Foundation. If you're part of the chess community, you will never be alone. And I want to thank Evan again and all our viewers for joining us. Hi, Mom. And next week, we will be back, same time, same channel, and I would love to see you then.